It's always a treat to have our good friend Ryan Dempster. And Ryan, from what I'm reading here, you're working too much. Host of International Talk on MLB Network, analyst for Marquee, and host of Off the Mound. That's too many jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because I now found out I'm hosting International Talk, not just intentional talk. So that's, we have a good friend with the Weather Channel who loves to call it International Talk a lot. So this is the main gig. It's a lot of fun, and we're having a blast doing it. The Off the Mound is obviously my little brainchild. I started a few years back, and we do it at music festivals in Arizona and a couple different charity shows throughout the year. So it's just a ton of fun. I love this, Dan. You know me. I love conversation, man. That's what it's all about.
So have the Harry Carey requests died down? Because there was probably a stretch of your life where you're like, I got to do it again.
Yeah. Ironically enough, I feel like I'm sort of always prepared. I had his glasses here. I think my son might have stolen them. They were at Harry's actual glasses. They're on a shelf behind.
Wait, you have his actual glasses?
Yeah, I honestly don't know what my kid did with them. There they are. Here you go. So these are Harry Carey's actual glasses.
Wow.
Grant DePorter from Harry Carey's lifelong Chicago Cub fan, and he runs all the Harry Carey's restaurants and stuff. He had got them to me, as well as the drinking logs that Harry kept from 1972 to 1974.
Whoa. He kept a log of how much he drank?
Yeah, honestly, dude, it's like really cool. I'll have to try and see a way to get those to you. As long as I'll include a return shipping form and a customs form for you, so you can send that back. It's amazing because I guess what the story goes, or the legend was that Harry, would always go out drinking with everybody, and I guess one day in spring training of 1972, I believe it was, or 73, because I think the logs were 73, 74, and he said, nobody believed my stories. So he just started keeping where I went, what I drank, who I drank with. And on there is like Wilt Chamberlain's on the list,
Wow.
There's presidents in this book. And it's and then you can tell the nights where he had a good time on Rush Street in Chicago, because it's like 8 bars and he paid some money, but he was always buying drinks for everybody. Pretty incredible.
How are the glasses and that logbook not in a museum?
They are. Grant has the original logbooks. He printed me copies. So he's got Harry's actual originals. And then he printed me copies. But these glasses, so Harry had prescription glasses and then non-prescription glasses. And the non-prescription ones are the ones that he gave me, because I've tried the prescription on. And I imagine that wearing those glasses is how Harry felt without the glasses after, 12 beers out on Rush Street. Because you can't see anything. You are blind as a bat. It is like rain. Look like bubbles,
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny.
So regional broadcasters are one of the hidden gems, I believe, in baseball. There are so many people that have been calling games for 20, 30 years for a team that no one outside of that market ever gets to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, did we lose you?
We froze up for a second. You were saying I agree. There's lots of people, if you hadn't had a chance to hear Don Orsillo call a Padres game.
Oh, so good.
I feel sorry for you. Just go to the highlights, go to your MLB app or whatever you can watch your old highlights on, and just watch last week's highlights where they walked off a couple times and listen to Don Orsillo call games. Wow, man, that is fun.
There was a gentleman, I don't have time. Well, I could Google it right now, but he called the Astros games for 40 years. Do you remember who that was? Because when I first got Sirius XM radio, I'd listen to him call games on the way into work, and you're taken to another world. And I think he's passed away since. I'll find the
name. I every time I think of long tenured Astros, I always go to Dr. Gene Coleman, their team strength coach, and he always wore the shorts. He was like the first short strength coach back in the day. It is I know the voice. Why am I Jerry
Milo
Coleman?
Hamilton.
Oh, Milo Hamilton. Yes.
Yeah. It's something. Yeah, it's a good little task for people to just hop on and try find those.
Yeah, and that's fan creation, right? We see that, you guys see that up there, and we see that back home with Dan Schulman. Calling Blue Jay games is I'm sitting in my garage working out, and I'm tapped in the Blue Jay game, and I'm listening to him call the game, and he's shouting out. This was at the end of the year last year, and he's saying hellos throughout every inning to everybody who said, "Can you say hello to my aunt? Can you say hello to this person?" You're just creating fans, and those are memories like that. I have those listening to, whether like, especially growing up in the, in the West, we got a lot of Cairo games, and Rick Riz and Dave Niehaus calling Mariner games. Like, oh man, that voice, and like, goodbye baseball, like just yelling. Like, it was just the enthusiasm that they showed for their team,
Yeah, because they get to be homers.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. If I'm right, that's thank you. And acknowledging that that's okay. I hate it when people like get in the Twitter bot verse and they're like, yeah, why don't you just like go ahead and pump up your team more? Duh. I
Yeah.
work for that team. I'm actually calling the game of that team. I want to talk nicely about our players, not bad.
How invested were you in that Blue Jays run last year?
Oh my goodness, man. So great. So much fun. My heart broke for so many people. My family, the Blue Jay fans that were there, like, you're in shock. But I mean, that's the Dodgers that's why they're a champion. You just don't see stuff like that. But what a boost to baseball in Canada. Thank you very much to the Toronto Blue Jays for that. That was incredible.
Now, watching that as a former player, do you see it as, man, I wish I was out there? Or do you say, man, I'm so glad I'm not out there?
No, those are the times of year I miss playing. Like when spring training starts, I start pacing around the house about February 1st. My wife's like, "What's wrong? Everything okay? Did you get a bad blood scan or something?" I'm like, "No, it's just spring training's about to start in 2 weeks, and I got ants in my pants." And then the playoffs, like just that time of year is so awesome. And with intentional talk or international talk, because we were in Toronto, we got, we're out traveling for that, and we're on the field, and we're watching these guys in their journey, right? We're trying to be respectful of their time and what they need to do to get a championship and win that. And at the same time, you're there every day with them. So you're having conversations, you're seeing these joyful moments for them, the tough moments, and guys being great teammates. It was really special. It was a lot of fun for us to cover it. And for me, especially being a Canadian and being a fan of the Toronto Blue Jays, and I got friends on the other side. Dave Roberts, a good friend. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. You go down the list, and then you're like, it was just joyful. I was down in the behind the on-deck circle in the little tunnel when Bichette hit the home run in the first inning, and I just happened to be filming it, and it was unbelievable. Like one of the coolest moments as a spectator I've ever had on a baseball field.
You mentioned Freddie Freeman. I'm currently sitting in Peterborough, Ontario, where his mom is from. So I have to believe that Freddie Freeman at some point in his life has stepped foot in this town.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. And, obviously something that nobody ever wants to go through, especially that young in life, but he and the story and what has been created to be able to share that story and know everything this guy takes on, when he goes out there and has these moments, and his dad in the stands, and getting to know his dad through Team Canada in 2017, and now seeing him at Dodger games. And it's just, he deserves all the flowers he gets, man. There's guys in baseball that play the game and are superstars, and sometimes superstardom can change us. Sometimes becoming a star can change you, not on purpose. Guys don't just wake up and go, you know what, screw everybody else. They just like they get caught up, man.
Yeah,
get caught up in like people asking things and needing things and wanting things and all these requests. And so then you start to feel, and then everybody kissing your ass and wants you to give you everything in the world, right? I'm like, I always thought it was funny. Like, yeah, you want tickets anytime? I'm like, dude, how about giving them to my brother? He can't afford them, but I'll take them and give them to him. Like you get all these things, and so you get treated that way. And Freddie has always, Dan, always just been like awesome to everybody that he comes in contact with. He's respectful. He's determined and focused. He doesn't lose track of his brand. Like he's not worried about his brand. He's worried about his performance first, and then the brand comes after that. What he has done in his community and what he's done for the people that looked out for him at the hospital with his son. Dude, A plus. There's A human beings, and then there's that little category of A plus, and then that's where Freddie Freeman is in. He's in that A plus category.
And then he cemented himself in that status here in Canada, where after the Jays lose to the Dodgers in the World Series, Freddie Freeman pops up in a Sick Kids ad campaign to raise funds for the kids hospital in Toronto. And you're just like, how can you not love this guy? Because he's making fun of himself. He walks into this room full of sick kids and they start booing him. And he's like, he played along with it. And I'm like, that shows what kind of a guy he is right there.
Yeah, and you know, like he's always kept that groundedness that you never worry about that. You never worry about him getting too big for himself and to make fun of himself in that moment and have that moment and doing something for a great cause. Like Freddie's like that, man. It's like you can rag him just like you would, or you know, give him a hard time like a rookie, and he'll give it right back to you. That's the beauty part of, you know, the fraternity of the baseball locker room and the clubhouse, and that is if you keep the right guys humbled, everybody stays humble.
Ryan Dempster, what the hell's going on with the Toronto Blue Jays?
Injuries. I mean, from Jump Street, right? It's like, and then you're constantly shuffling and trying to figure that out. Or starting, you look around the league, very few teams are going out there right now and winning series because of their offense. Like, especially in April. Like, you can have big games and dudes do blow out. We just saw what happened in the Angels-Yankees series, a ton of home runs. But pitching is what can carry a team. And teams that are playing right now are pitching well. And like the Blue Jays missing Yasevich goes down, Bieber goes down, like Barrios goes, like that's depth, man. And then now you're having to tap in other things. That means shorter outings, and that means the bullpen coming in sooner. And fatigue last year, you can call it that. I don't know if that's a real thing. I think they're as hungry as can be, and I think that you just got to fight your way to the end of April with a winning record. And if you get there, then everything's all right.
So the early months of baseball, that's when starting pitchers, that's when you guys make your contract claim for the next season, because the hitters can't hit.
Yeah, 100%. Remember that year Ubaldo Jimenez had for the Dodgers when he was like went to the All-Star game and he was 15-1. And what did he finish? He didn't win 20. He went like 19-4. He pitched well, but he didn't, you know, like not as well. And like there was a lot of games out of there early. Like that's just what happens. It's a long season, and when I look at, we get so caught up, like how you said, what's wrong with the, hey man, like I love going and watching the ponies run, and I bet on a horse, and then that horse is like 3 lengths ahead of everybody out of the jump street. I'm nervous. You know, like I'm not like, yeah, I won. Oh man, give me my money. I want my money. No, man, you are worried because it's hard to hold on like that, and you realize some teams just take a minute. You know, just a minute to get going. We're a different team than last year. We're not last year's team. All those questions. We're last year's team. No. This is 2026. This is this year's team. Let us get our feet going on that. They'll be fine.
Okay, that's good. I like the positive framework on that. And also the biggest talking point here in Canada is the closer for the Blue Jays, Jeff Hoffman. What would you do if you were manager of the Blue Jays? He has blown 3 saves already this year, and save situations are very rare for this team currently.
Yeah, and I'm gonna lend this piece of advice to somebody who's kind of been in this role before and had these struggles. Is I think sometimes it's okay to get out of that role because it's hard. This game is so mental. Everybody's got physical talents. Everybody throws hard. You got so much mentally lying on it. And aside from the runs that he gives up or blow the saves, it's like you feel this immense amount of letdown to your teammates. So those are your boys in there, man. And like they fought hard. And so you feel that. And then you compound it with another one and another one. And that happened to me in 2026. I had a great year closing in 2026. I wish I was playing in 26 in 06, but in 05 I had an awesome year closing. Then 06 started out the year good, and then I struggled, and then it was like, okay, Bake took me out of the closer role, let me get back in there for the end of the year. It was a struggle. Went back in 07. It was fine. Sometimes I think it's a lot to take on, especially when there's expectations of winning, and so maybe you find yourself in the 8th inning. He's a role he's comfortable in. Outs are just as important. He might be facing 3, 4, 5 in the 8th inning. Like, it's just about doing what you got to do to get back to right and then get that confidence back because he's got the stuff. And, that's a tough way to end his season, right? A tough way to kind of deal with that and have to sit on that all off season and then come to spring training. And so, yeah, he's just got to work his way through it. And John knows that. And they'll try to do their best job of doing that.
I've never been able to ask this question. So if you're a closer and you blow a save, do you say sorry? Do you hang your head? What do you do?
No, you do not be sorry. If you weren't prepared and you weren't ready to go, then you can go find somebody to apologize to. But we're all in this together. But I will tell this great story. So I did blow a save in 2004 as not the closer. I came back from Tommy John. I was pitching out of the bullpen end of 04. and Greg Maddux is going for his 300th win for the first time at Wrigley against the Mets, going out there, and I come in the game. We're winning by 1, I believe, or 2 maybe, and I blow the save. And I felt awful, right? Like we're at Wrigley and all these fans, and we get to watch Greg Maddux win 300. I'm just feeling terrible, and I go in. Now we're flying out west, and 5 days later we're going to be in San Francisco, and Greg's going to have to go for 300 again. And so I get on the plane ride, and I just go up and I go, "Hey, doggy man, I'm my bad, dude. I'm sorry." And he's like, looks at me, he goes, "You should be sorry." Like snapped at me, you know. And I'm like, I feel so terrible, dude. 300 wins and I blow the freaking save. And he's like, "Oh, dude, I don't care. I'll get more wins." He goes, "I had golf tee time set up at Olympia. I was thinking about going up and playing Pebble. And now you've ruined that because now my whole family's coming on the road trip and I can't do any of those golf courses. So you should be sorry for blowing that save." And I was like, dude, this dude just got his 300 win blown. And he's thinking about his tee times at Cypress, you know, and San Francisco Country Club. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm such a people pleaser. I would be going around to each teammate. "I'm sorry. I really effed up out there. I'm sorry." It would get tedious, so I'd probably have to
Well,
stop
we're
that.
Canadians, so we tend to do that anyways.
Not to end on a sad note, but we just got news of the passing of Angels great Garret Anderson. Wondering if you wanted to pass on any memories of him.
Yeah, and this is, you know, terrible news. This is another brother from our fraternity, but more importantly, this is somebody's son and father and you know, husband and just a family man and a great guy, an Angels legend. I used to go to a Vancouver Canadians game, and then I saw Garret play there when in AAA for the Angels, and I remember being like, wow, this guy, like, what a hitter! Like, almost reminded me a little bit of like Tony Gwynn, like as far as good bat to ball, pole to pole, pitch where it hit, and then got a chance to compete against them, and it was kind of like really surreal to be a kid that watched them play in that Bailey, and then now I get to face them in the major leagues, and you know, realizing you're, you know, sitting there in the stands going, "I'm going to face that guy one day," and then I got to face him. So my heart goes out to his family and everybody in the Angels organization. It's a tough loss to lose a really good person like that.
Yeah, at the age of 53, so young. In your battles with Garret Anderson, who won? Who came out on top?
I'm guessing him. If I got him out, it's going to be line drives to people or some sort of balls to the warning track. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be somewhere north of 30% of the time, which sounds about right for him.
Well, thank you, my friend, and our condolences to his friends and family. And I already said where you can catch to Ryan Dempster International Talk.
Yep. I think that's on both the BBC and Telemundo if you're not. Or you can catch us here on the United States on MLB Network or on the MLB Network app. So yeah, I appreciate that.
You're the best, buddy. Have a great day.
Yeah, Dan, you too, man.